It looks like everything is on.
Yep.
Alright, hello, I am Nanachi, or Wed, and I'm here with Alex, and I'm going to be doing Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Spyro 3 any percent. Without further ado, let's get started.
Do you want me to count down or?
I already hit start.
Sweet.
I thought that they were knowing when.
Right. Yeah,
So,
Spyro 3, the last in the trilogy. This one pretty much takes place in the Forgotten Worlds, where dragons used to live like 1,000 years ago, and then Sorceress pretty much banished all the dragons, and well, all the magic in that world pretty much went with them, so now it's kind of just... I'm not sure how much more of the lore I know besides that, but pretty much there are a bunch of eggs now that's scattered around everywhere. But any percent in this game is pretty much getting 100 eggs like the original. There's no like boss skips at all yet. No sorcerer skip.
one thing that you're going to note with this that's different from like 100 egg, what I did earlier, is the addition of needing to collect a lot of gems forever. You'll be seeing me going for a bunch of fast gems here and there.
There are plenty of money bags payments to be doing, especially most of them being like at least 3 of the 4 side characters. The last one being Agent 9, which we don't pay for. But the first money bags payment he's gonna be doing is for Sheila, which will be like after this in Cloud Spires.
So I need to get 300 gems by the time I get in front of the Sheila portal, which honestly is pretty loose. Most of the time I at least tend to get quite a bit more by that point. Generally always preparing for the next payment I need to make.
Yeah, this whole route is pretty much what we believe are the fastest eggs, and it's actually not too bad of a route for right now.
It is still quite different from the original.
Yeah, the original, it's very different. In the original, you don't have to pay money bags whatsoever.
It was on exit level, that was weird.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was probably already mentioned that whatever menu option you leave the game at, it's going to save that menu option for the next time you play.
So one thing to note with every egg in this game is that your movement is determined based off of the direction that Spyro is facing, and not the camera like the original game, which leads to some kind of wonky angles that you have to hold down to be able to actually move optimally.
You're talking about right after the egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the moment you're able to move right after, an egg cutscene is done, your controls are locked for like a second while the camera's moving right behind Spyro again. So it can be a bit risky doing this over by where eggs are, where there's a bunch of void that you can easily fall down and just mess up your movement after an egg. Yeah, that skip is still a thing in this game. So it's much easier than the original.
The original required like a lot of, or a decent amount of fairly tight inputs to be able to just barely make it. This one, on the other hand, is like, if you're at a certain spot and you vaguely press your inputs at the right time, it's generally fairly easy. Thanks, Michaela, for the good luck.
Now that's... Oh.
Yeah, Sun Seeds is pretty much just flaming these suns into this pot of lava. They all turn into like a big sun once you get all three in. But if you leave the suns along the path without flaming them for too long, they burn out and just go back to the start. That's pretty much how that challenge works. And
Something that I actually could note about Cloud Spires is that there are 2 routes for the level.
Yeah.
I opt for the easier one, or I think most people would say that it's the easier one.
I would say it.
But there is one that ends at a very different spot that is actually faster, but it's still at a point where I don't find it worth it to go for.
Yeah, the other route pretty much involves like a skip over to the right area at the beginning, which skips completely like the first bellow that you flame a button for. And then you use the whirlwind up top and land on kind of like, I don't know what you call them, like little pillars.
You land on one of the spires,
yeah,
right above the whirlwind area.
Yeah, and
then you wall glide to be able to get to this egg that I'm getting last faster.
yeah, it skips out like the first 2 of those flamethrowers in the walls. It's
Like
it's a bit
including
harder. Like I'd have to admit it's faster, but it's not fun like having to reset a run over.
yeah.
There are just a couple series of jumps that are just rough.
If it wasn't for like some of the gems you miss with it, I would say that with the addition of being able to skip the first bellows, it saves like a good 10 to 15 seconds. But it does also miss some gems, some fairly decent ones right at the start. So it's a horse apiece.
So he's gonna collect these next 2 eggs in the home world, the hunter tutorial jump egg and this one right at the end of the cave. Which, trying to collect gems in here while still having to super fly through, it's a little tricky. Like having to like charge out of a super fly is a little wonky.
It feels very janky. Then again, that is something I would describe a lot of the movement in this game kind of janky.
Thanks.
Only kind of.
Only kind of. So here's my major gem farm at the start of the game. There is a lot of good gems in Sheila. So I'll be getting like a solid 200 plus here.
Yeah, you're pretty much getting back most of the gems you paid with money bags here. Cool thing about Sheila in this game is that if you kick like a basket or a rock or a vase or anything that has a gem in it, it homes into you automatically. Well, I don't think the rocks do, but baskets and vases definitely like home into you if you just kick them. But if you do kick, it kind of slows down Sheila's movement to like kind of like a halt, sort of. And these mushroom houses are pretty fast too. You just, I guess they have like the collision that breaks them like right where the sides are. So all you have to do is jump and then do your ground pound really quickly.
The collision is kind of weird though. I'm pretty sure you can only do those quick head bashes on specific parts of the house. Like where the doors and the windows are.
Right.
Because the hitbox like juts out very slightly. Next level I'll be heading to is pretty standard. Molten Crater. Something different about it though is that this is the only level that I will be going to twice.
Yeah, there's a theme with this game is that every homeworld you're in,
Nah, that's fine.
every homeworld you're in, the next character you unlock in the next homeworld will show up in the previous homeworld. So like the first homeworld will have a level with Bird in it, next one will have a level with Bentley in it, and so on. But this is like the only side character that we'll be revisiting with because it has a fast egg in it. And it's not too bad to revisit because once you get the end of level egg, you can just go straight from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, and one thing to note about it, like, the reason why it's so worth it is because at least currently we go by in-game time, which, regardless of how long your loads are in this case, you're not actually losing that much time to just going straight into the level. I want this. Thank you.
Yeah, all we're getting here is the egg by the lava and send a level egg and the 2 thieves that we also have to pay for to gain entry in.
So far
Which is
that
another
is
300 gems.
Yep. So far that is 600 gems towards money bags.
And that's the last time you'll be seeing him until second homeworld where we have to pay for Sergeant Bird.
Let's see if I can get my fast strat. Nope.
Oh yeah, weird thing here. You have to... I don't know, something like interrupts the guy's dialogue here and it interrupts the dialogue and you need the dialogue to actually spawn in the Red Thief.
Oh.
So you end up having
Yeah,
to like...
that. So that's cool.
So you end up having to like talk to the guy again or getting him to talk so that the Red Thief actually spawns. Oh my god.
Thief AI is good.
The thing with thieves in this game is that when they're jumping up or down stairs or platforms, they really slow down. And it can be It can be pretty disorienting. Like, you don't expect it at all. Even when you know that Thief will slow down if it jumps down. Like,
I was wondering if
react
those
to it
base
that well.
gems. I was wondering if those base gems were worth it buying multiplayer. Now I know they're not. A lot of like how the gem rating's based off of is like where are the nearest 5 or 10 gems. So a lot of times I'll like focus on going to areas where there's like vases or baskets, just because 5 and 10 gems more often than not are placed in them. So this level is completely not in like original games routes. Used to be like ages ago when you had to pay for things in the run. Were you going to say something, Alex?
Yeah, I was gonna say what you were gonna say.
Oh, okay.
But usually speedways in the original don't at all follow what the intended route is, which is to get all 8 pairs of 4 sets in an order. But in this one, it's more than likely fastest to do it here, just because of how supercharge works in SRT. If you just try and like start a supercharge and interrupt it quickly, you're kind of just losing a lot of speed. Because of how supercharge works, it's just you start a supercharge, and the longer you hold it, the more you speed up. It's not like a complete set speed like
That was really good.
second and third game. Yeah, here's UFOs.
Crap. I accidentally entered the time attack again.
UFOs is fast. It can be a little bit faster than that, believe it or not, but it's also a little tricky to control
Yeah.
Hunter's plane or whatever.
I haven't actually learned the faster strat yet, so I'll just go for that one because I know how to do it. There's one where you don't hold the gas at the start and you wait for that one UFO that I got at the end to get it earlier. And it saves like an additional like 3+ seconds. Which is ridiculous considering that the length that I just spent there was about 15.
Yeah, last level on the homeworld seashell.
And this presents this level presents an important, not actually to you, or it's used quite a bit as like a tech, but it's, I feel like it could easily go unnoticed. And it's just like how overpowered the jump, gliding, and hovering in this game is.
Yeah, there's plenty of that here. Oh, got caught by the guy.
Yeah. Reminder to not hold square there. See, right there, I was able to just completely bypass going all the way back.
Yeah, you'd have to go all the way back onto the pier and deal with this Rhinoc that those barrels at you. But you can just do a jump, glide, and hover.
I opted out of going for a slightly faster strat there just to grab those 2 5 gems.
Yeah, you can just completely skip those stairs right up to where Zoe is. You can land kind of on like the sloped wall, right where those 3 enemies are, and the she shells. just do a simple jump, glide, and hover to the platform, but it's not really hard. It's very easy to do. But gems are pretty good too. So gems would be nice. Luckily, this area gives you plenty of 5s here. So all the turrets here are 5s, and fortunately, they didn't make it a thing where you have to like break all the boxes down first and then break the turrets. All you have to do is just ground pound the actual barrel part of the turrets, and they'll break.
If they in fact kept it very true to the original in that case, which is very nice. Speaking of true to the original, this is actually not true to the original. The water movement in this game makes you drift a lot, which makes water tunnel, I wouldn't necessarily say harder. I'm not too used to the water controls yet, so that's probably most of it, but it definitely feels different. I find water tunnel in this game very easy to fail. Then again, it's easy to fail in the original as well.
Yeah, unlike a lot of the mini games and egg challenges here, like in the original, you'd have like a different camera that kind of zooms out a little while you're in the tunnel, but they kind of got rid of that thing for pretty much everything.
I was holding the wrong button. Or the wrong direction. I don't need to talk to the seal.
Yeah, if you just mash X coming out of there, you gain control a little bit before hitting the ground, so you can just glide out of there. But you don't need the seal to have the balloon come down. So it is faster to just skip having a seal talk to you and teleport you to where the balloon is, and then have Zoe zap you before getting on the balloon.
And now we are at terrible boss.
Yeah, in the original, this boss is a cakewalk. This one in SRT, it's very risky to do fast strats here.
A good word that I could use to describe Buzz in this game is inconsistent.
Yeah, it's not like this is pretty much the strat. You want him to like not land on you with the buzzsaw attack and just like try and circle around you and just when he hits the edge of the arena, he pretty much just does a 180 and just goes back to starting a new phase of attack or whatever. But sometimes it's inconsistent. Sometimes Buzz can land on you with a buzzsaw or actually hit you near the edge. And
overall, that was a pretty good Buzz.
Okay, good. As far as Buzz goes, that's pretty much like perfect.
Yeah.
Another thing is if Buzz hits you with a buzzsaw attack right at the edge of the lava and you fall in the lava, you pretty much die instantly.
Guaranteed, yeah.
Not instantly, but you're guaranteed to just stay in the lava and take all the damage possible.
I've had multiple times where I would slightly screw up whatever I was trying to do to avoid him. He would hit me with the buzzsaw, knock me into the lava. For some reason, the lava would end up hitting me twice. I would bounce up into the air, I would miss gliding onto the arena and then die finally in the lava. Ah. You can skip Bianca here, but I kind of messed up.
Okay.
All you have to do is just jump and glide to the left of where the... Just jump and glide, like, before you hit the grass, pretty much. And only towards the left. Towards the right, I think it doesn't work at all. But skipping Bianca there does save like a good few seconds. I'm guessing you also wanted that face, maybe. I'm not sure what you were trying to do.
Oh yeah, I wanted that 5-gem face. I'm gonna be entering this building because there's quite a few 5-gems. This is the next level that has some variance between the original trilogy.
Yeah, it's not so different.
It's not as much of different as it is.
We do add in skateboarding.
Additional. Yeah.
We do add in the skateboarding challenge here because of a thing that developers did that was probably not intended for you to do, but it was overlooked. Well, we'll get to that in a bit. But no, there's no loud sounds with the rockets hitting the statue anymore. Which is everyone's favorite sound.
Isn't this what?
People think that skateboarding might be slow because you have the tutorial, and then you have to face off Hunter, getting the most points. But
For some
second
reason,
egg is kind of the
the
broken one.
Hey,
Also, skateboarding is kind of broken physics in this game. Nice roll.
Yeah.
But because of the broken physics, we kind of have to use that to just skip each of these sections a little bit quicker. But when you jump off a ramp, you gain so much height, like it doesn't even matter. Like speed isn't even a factor in how high you jump anymore. Well, it kind of is, but getting a skateboard for the first time, you are definitely at like the slowest speed possible, but you still jump so high off ramps.
So this is the reason why I entered this area. Start the points battle. Oh man, I scored a lot of points. Oh hey, I won. Goodbye.
But yeah, the game only checks if you have more points than Hunter here. It as long as you have more points than Hunter at any point of the challenge, you can just quit. Give up the challenge and he'll give you the egg. Within like 5 seconds.
Next up we have Icy Peak, a level with a lot of actually fairly unintended things in it.
Yeah, unfortunately it's fast. Like without these, this would definitely be a kind of slow level. But fortunately, there are a few cool things you can do. Yeah, definitely can. Very tested.
Crap.
Not at all the last thing they did, and definitely had a lot of testing put in, but oh wow, explosion radius on those are good, but as far as this level, Bob or whoever, the NPC on the cannon takes a while to get off because he's just like spinning around and shooting at nothing. Just takes like, I don't know, like 10 seconds for him to get off or something. So instead of doing that, you can just lure a weasel TNT or just flame a TNT towards the wall and it'll break it. So you do that instead of waiting for the NPC to get off the cannon for you.
I should probably lure him instead of what I end up doing. Trying to flame him to it ends up being kind of hard.
Yeah. Cool couple jumps here that you can do to skip. This would usually you need to like reach the end of level 4 for that egg on the island, but
This is the harder of the two jumps right here. The jump off of the cannon.
yeah, the
Little finicky.
two little bits there between the barrel of the cannon, those are the only parts that you can stand on the cannon. If you stand on anywhere else, it'll just roll you off. But you don't have a lot of ground to stand on there, so it's very finicky.
Yep. Usually I don't fail it this much. Usually I get it first or second try, so this is kind of off-putting. I'm hovering too early. I think that's the big thing.
Yeah, this you would normally have to break those 2 ice walls right where wet is.
There we go.
Is left, and go around to get this egg. But of course, this is normally faster.
Yeah. How long it took me did not make it faster.
Another thing with just not using the cannon at all. There's just a bunch of TNTs you can use there. Break the ice wall at the end of level egg and just drop down to the 2 thieves. Now with these thieves on this track, they only run in one direction only. Like, it doesn't run against the path of the supercharge ramps at all. So you can just do this to get the yellow thief, just catch him by surprise. Because it only runs one direction, it will just run in straight into you.
You could actually stand still, and it will actually just like trip over you and die. It is a wonderful feature.
Yeah, that in the original, it's a little, it's not too different from the original strats we do there, really. It's
The yellow thief
very
is
similar.
different,
Yeah.
but the red thief is the exact same.
And the original yellow thief, it only works if you get the red thief first though. But you get the red thief first, and then in the original yellow thief, you can just like go up to where the yellow thief starts and then move the camera just a little bit to make the yellow thief spawn right back to where it was. You can just knock
You
him
can
out
actually-
while he respawns.
You can keep the camera in the exact same spot, use a little bit of camera manipulation, and the yellow thief will just keep spawning over and over infinitely.
Yeah.
Good for when you want to BRB and you just want to hear laughter all the time. Oh, yes, hello. This is Sergeant Bird camera. I hope you like it as much as I do.
Different. Okay. Yes. I think that happens when you go through doorways like this. It's awful. I've only gotten it once. Sucks. Yeah, the cool differences in this is Bird moves faster. He moves more like a tank, and his missiles home in like it's really OP how much his missiles home in. And also this hummingbird moves so much faster.
He's stopping.
Originally, you could get way more gems here if you kill at least a couple enemies here. But you aren't able to do that with how fast she moves. But I guess you still get them anyway because they're good gems. Oof. Sparksless.
There's some bunnies right before Spooky Swamp. It's no big deal. There aren't too many gems that you end up grabbing up before Spooky Swamp. The red light on my controller, though, looks spooky. So.
Yeah. Maybe it was already talked about. I mean, people already really know this, but the light on the top of your PS4 controller changes color according to what sparks color you're on. If you're on no sparks, it turns red.
When you have the extra sparks power up of, like, you know, having extra health, it doesn't actually change the color of the light, though.
Right. Now, here is Spooky Swank.
Spooky Squonk.
Probably the most fun prevention. One of the most fun prevention levels you can try and find skips in.
We know. We had our fair experience of it last night. We were looking for so many skips in this level last night, and we came up with nothing, even though there was so many things that looked barely possible.
Came up with one, and it's even
slower.
By 3 seconds. But
Swanky swoop.
yeah, this is no different. Just skipping to the end of the level. Skips having to pay for money bags, like 500 gems.
That sucks.
What did you do?
I got treed. The trees have really dumb collision.
Oh, you didn't get to show off anything.
Nah, I suck at it.
Huh.
It would have been faster in that scenario, though.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the eggs. There's also Sleepyhead and the 2 twins you have to escort to the eggs, but of course they're slower.
Those are bad. I can say, though, that there is a weird difference with blind guys between this game and OG. In
Yeah,
OG,
rocks.
there are like these boulders that if you break them, eventually they will just rocket down from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
When in this game, they don't respawn.
Yeah, they stay broken. It's just the tree mushrooms that just spring back up for a certain period of time.
I'm gonna try going for the one other strat that we had in mind.
Shoutouts to Jumpy Luff here.
That's way easier.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna do that.
There's a better strat to do there where you end up breaking the basket right next to the ladder, but the
Yeah,
window is pretty tight.
but you pretty much like interrupt the ladder egg, even though you still did collect it, but you get teleported for the egg for breaking all the flower pots. So you get 2 eggs in one, pretty much.
Overall, it's mostly convenient just because you're
Yeah,
put closer to bamboo.
it swamps you. It swamps you. Nice.
It
Teleports
spooky
you.
swamps you.
It swamps you right next to bamboo.
Swamp.
Fortunately, with these, you have to watch cutscenes of the pandas clearing a path for you. In the original, you can just like squeeze proxy out of that boulder and skip straight to the end of the level. We don't really want an 100 egg because there are 2 good eggs here. They're right next to each other.
Oh hey, I finished installing Yakuza Iwami. Oh hey, I just got destroyed. Crap.
Weeb. Oh.
Oh crap. Since you already started. Okay. There we go. So there's something that hopefully goes right when it comes to the thief.
Yeah, the thief pretty much runs through the entire level, but you can get the thief stuck on the bull, which he left alive there,
Didn't get it.
but it only depends on if he's in the right spot or not. So he's trying to see.
Luckily, it doesn't
Oh.
save that much time.
Yeah, because
As we said before, when the thieves jump, they move really slow, so we're able to catch up on them pretty quickly. Even
Yeah,
if I didn't get him on the stairs, I didn't end up activating the bridge, meaning he would have gotten stuck in the lake.
yeah, Faulty. For some reason, the thief kills the big guy with the umbrella, but he doesn't kill the bull.
Now, there is actually one way to consistently get the thief to run into the ball. It requires you, though, to get the end of level egg and immediately death abuse.
Yeah,
And I don't actually know if that's faster.
it probably
So I
isn't.
kind of opt out of it. Nice.
Yeah, here's the revisit. It's bird. As you can see, you're right at the end of the level pretty much instantly.
Please, no crash arena. Okay.
But there's also some weird stuff with this area that plenty of people have been getting, me included. I've also like crashed
Yeah,
like
there's
entering in this area too.
there's quite a few
don't even
people
know
that
why.
have crashed in that area. When's 149 egg? I'll work on it. Alphabetical? Lol.
But we did want to revisit there. And we could like revisit anywhere after having, gone through birds a level. But here it's more convenient because, as we said before about like skipping Bianca's text box at the beginning here, it's if you get teleported to the whirligig by the panda, you spawn like right on where the grass is, right where it triggers Bianca's text box. If you just simply revisit Midday Gardens, you spawn like right inside the building, so you can keep Bianca's text box skipped.
Here is Good Rocks, the boss fight.
Yeah, I really don't like how they did the bosses in this game.
They made the rocks like super angle specific to be able to hit the enemy, and it's
like anything
very annoying.
anything spherical. Anything spherical you have to hit at a boss. The hitbox for it is.
Now I finished installing Bulletstorm.
Is weird.
Everything is good in the world. I got PlayStation Plus last night, so I ended up deciding to download the game.
Nice. This means we're gonna get to see Wed play a bunch of games that's not related to Spyrothon. That's what's gonna happen. Cool thing you can do here was found by Dust. If you keep a blue spiky ball on the arena, like I don't know, right after he dies, and then right after he dies, you can move over to where the power-up is, because it takes some time for Spike to despawn and the egg to keep you locked in place. You can move around the arena for a bit, but if you can keep this blue power-up into Evening Lake and take it into a level with you, and you can have it as like as your new flame ability until you enter either a side area or you die, or if you exit the level, and that's pretty much it. We used to have to do it for Charmed Ridge because of skipping money bags, but I ended up finding a money bag skip, like...
Yeah, we used to have a route that was based... We had a route that was based off of getting as many eggs as possible that were fast up until Spike, so that you're able to get enough eggs in the home world of Evening Lake to enter Charmed Ridge first.
Yeah, because taking it to a level and then exiting it gets rid of that power up. And because there was a 50 egg requirement to enter Charmed, we had to get like a few of the eggs in Charmed. We couldn't get all of them because if you entered Whale with it, and it loses the power up too. So we had to get whatever eggs we knew were decent, just to meet the egg requirement of having 58 eggs before entering Charmed. But we don't have to do that now.
Watch as that enemy just freaking dies for no reason. He does that every time. I hope he didn't want to see there for a second. Just talk to Andal.
Yeah, not many eggs we get here. 2 of them are involve having to use Agent 9, which we don't even pay for.
Ah! I wasn't ready. There we go.
Yeah, just like the originals, you can pretty much damage boost using these guys. Since they throw so far with the bombs. And it's much easier.
If you
So you don't have to run through all of Ninja HQ just to get to that egg. Which is good because Ninja HQ doesn't really have that many good gems for us to collect. Now coming up on Lost Fleet, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
First, I'm going to be collecting some stuff beforehand, which is going to be annoying since I don't have sparks. Where's the way out? There it is. It's okay, it puts the whale in an even better spot. I opt for getting the whale right before Lost Fleet because I mean you automatically get put towards Lost Fleet after the whale. Plus if you do the whale after Charmed Ridge, you're almost guaranteed to screw up the whale's AI.
Yeah, for some reason while the whale's going under the bridge to or between Charmed Ridge and Honey Speedway, he kind of just spazzes out, like his whole body just like shakes around and you're not able to get the egg out of him because I don't know, he doesn't recognize you're there or whatever. He doesn't open his mouth.
Now the funny thing about it though is that you can actually use that messed up AI to have him push you out of bounds.
Yeah. You can actually swim out of bounds using that whale, but it doesn't really take you anywhere.
Nah, it's not useful at all.
They made water voluminous.
They made water voluminous, yeah.
Fine. Made it that instead of like a plane that you can just swim through and swim out of bounds that way. So unfortunately, there's not really much you can do to swim in air in these games. At least not as far as we know.
Yeah. Not yet.
Fun fact, you can just skip to the end of the level here, but it's not a good thing to do because
You're able to brick your file.
well, I'm not sure if it bricked because like I ended up death abusing to see if Crazy had teleported or not. But when I tried to
L'Oreal Paris shampoo.
but you can, if you end up breaking the last wall first, and then go back around to break the first wall last.
Oh, that was cool.
And make him just go all the way from the beginning to the ending, where the last wall is already broken, but Crazy Ed doesn't think it is. He just stands at the top of the boat and just points at an open hole. Like, he's stuck there indefinitely as well. Like, exiting and re-entering the level or resetting your game even does not fix it because it just saves progress of the level instead of just completely resetting it when you exit. So you end up, as Wed said, bricking the file pretty much because you cannot progress past Evening Lake without that end of level egg.
Sorry about that. Winter is clogging up my sinuses.
Yeah, Charmed Ridge. There's some cool stuff in this one.
There is various neat things in this level, yes.
There's Money Bag Skip, which is good because it cuts out 600 gems in the route, and it doesn't make getting Bentley a pain because paying for Bentley is 1,000 gems.
So that's the money bag skip right there. And this is money bag skip 2.
Yeah, that's like really easy. Oh. The cat wizards in this level are pretty rude.
Usually I go out of the way to dodge that by hovering over the wood. I don't know why I didn't this time.
Yeah, the cat
Actually-
wizards don't.
Actually randomly collected 2 5 gems there because 2 enemies outside just died.
Money Bag Skip to Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, the next eggs here are Jack eggs. The eggs for Jack and the Beanstalk. You get to plant a bunch of like mushrooms and flowers, but you can just like easily make it a whole lot faster. So all you have to do is jump,
Oh wait.
glide, and hover onto these mushrooms, and you cut down like the length of this challenge by like, I don't know, 50%.
He does look like a pop figure. You're right. Grab the seed. Actually hover next time, you dingus. Krungus.
Yeah, unfortunately with these games there's a timer for when you need to hover. I'm sure was already said anyway. It's an easy hover to do. That's pretty much just like the original, but we do a very different method.
Oh crap, I
To
forgot
do
to
it,
do your strat with the fireball.
What's the same?
Whatever.
And get those gems because there's like 225 gems that are really good.
Oi!
Oi.
Next up, I will be making my way over to Bentley's outpost.
Which costs 1,000 gems, which he has plenty of.
Something we can
And after
note
that-
about Bentley's movement is that there is nothing notable with Bentley's movement.
Except that he moves a lot faster.
Yeah. There is one
That's-
strat in Bentley's outpost though that Alex can probably point out when it comes to it.
Yeah, this is the second to last time he has to pay money bags, so next time we'll be in Crystal Islands where he has to pay another 1,000 gems for a bridge. We definitely want to do Bentley before Frozen Altars because of a couple Bentley eggs you can get. in boxing, which are pretty quick and easy. Yeah, this is just getting all 3 eggs in this level. Just help clear the path for Bentley's little brother, Bartholomew.
One thing that's really convenient about Bentley's level as a whole is the
Gems.
compactness of the gems in the level.
Yeah,
There
it's-
are 5s and 10s galore in this level.
Yeah, it's a really good level just to get gems. You can pretty much get, I'm guessing, like 350 maybe in your route. Yeah. You don't even look like you lose all the time. Okay, but here you can just the moment you hit the snowball, you want to walk up to Bartholomew and get in his trigger for his talk box, and once the cutscene plays for the spike to fall down to give you a platform, you want to talk to him so that you can end up moving around while that spike is falling. Saves a little bit of time instead of waiting to move again.
Couldn't break the egg open this time. You can actually do that, by the way. You cannot.
And also, pushing boxes are way faster. The whole level's pace is just completely changed. Yeah. So he had at least like 250 gems or something entering in this level. Now he's at like 500 with plenty more gems to collect.
I'm not actually going to go and grab the additional gems back there. I'm gonna try to go with that. There is like a pathway off the end of the level that is really good if you are low on gems.
Yeah, you can just-
Alex calculated it to about getting 185 gems in about 30 seconds.
yeah, if you just like leave the gems off to the left of those boxes and just get them after this egg, the last egg, you can get this totem pole and just walk back up to where like the hidden seal is and just get the strong chest right behind it. The strong chest is just riddled with tens. It's
Yeah, the strong chest has, I want to say, like 70 gems in it in itself.
so it's a good detour for gems. At least decent. At least if you're like really low on gems,
Yeah.
getting that is really good. It's a really good spot to get it.
I was feeling like I didn't really need it this time, though.
Yeah. Last level in Evening Lake here, Frozen Altars.
This level features Rock'em Sock'em robots.
Get to that in a bit.
Nah,
There's
that's all the explanation it needs.
Okay.
Nah,
Don't need to explain like the two kind of hard jumps. Not really hard.
We'll explain it when the time comes. Cool. I didn't think I was going to make that.
Alright, here's the first jump here to this one egg he wants to get, which is onto this island. And You can like land on like the left bit with all the snow is to get closer to the island egg, but it's a bit harder.
That attempt was
So
pretty
really
bad.
it's just a lot easier to go on the right side and jump across those pillars. But from here, oh, there you can get the egg that way, which kind of requires using the wall a little bit.
There we go, that looked a lot better.
Like, you don't really need the wall that much, but you do need like a good corner cutting, really.
Alright, this is...
But these snow bits here can like auto hover you if you're too close to them, and it is a little tricky to get that one egg. But here's
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
all you do is just jab and low blow the Yeti, and you win. You barely take any damage from the Yeti, and it's free. It's really easy eggs, both of them. You can just one round the X egg, which is supposed to take.
It's
supposed to take at most 3 eggs, or 3 rounds to beat the Yeti, but you can just beat him in 1 round doing this strat.
It's quite a hard egg in the original game.
Yeah.
But this one, it's a pushover.
Yeah, the Yeti is a pushover in this, in the remaster. The original, all you have to like time your jabs just right to be fast in it. Because you take like mutual damage with the Yeti, but in this you don't really take much at all. But yet the Yeti takes more damage than you do.
Ah. How did that grab me?
It's 2-player boxing still a thing.
I haven't checked.
Yeah, this snowman can be annoying. His like grabbing range for you trying to skip him is kind of ridiculous. Wow, you have a lot of gems.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, you just teleport back to Evening Lake that way.
This is actually the first time I remembered to do it. Alright, so... Welcome to a boss fight that I actually think is more enjoyable in this game. I would definitely say I like Scorch more in Reignited than I do in the original game. Partly because RNG matters a little less. Wow.
He's wrong.
Wow. Okay. Fine. I don't like losing 15 seconds every time I get the wrong color.
I will say it's kind of the opposite. Getting what kind of rocket you want. You definitely want. Not definitely, but it is a little bit faster to get green rockets to shoot at Scorch here. But for the convenience of having 50 red rockets at your disposal, it's a little bit better. But because his shield goes down a little bit after he moves instead of just his shield going down immediately when he wants to move, just like the original. You do have to wait a little bit, but the green rockets you can just like stay close to the edge of the arena and just like have the green missile home into him while he's moving to the next spot. It almost seems like the RNG has probably changed in this fight too. Seems like he favors more of using like Buzz and like the fired troll that chases after you towards the end, but of course having all the lasers.
He
Come out
likes
at you
to
is
throw those
definitely-
more often on less health, but he can also throw crabs literally at any time,
Yeah.
which is different from the original because usually he has certain phases in the original where he'll start by throwing crabs, and when you deal enough damage, he'll start throwing weasels, and then after I think like half health, he'll go to both those fire trolls and Buzz.
Yeah, Midnight Mountain only has one more moneybags payment left in Crystal Islands, which he has all the gems for.
Way earlier
Takes
than
1,000.
I wanted
Yeah.
to.
Takes 1,000 just to pay for the bridge. But you definitely
can't
don't
tell.
want like you definitely don't want like I don't know, 700 gems or 750 at least going into Midnight Mountain because there are not any good gems to collect in Crystal Islands. You could probably only get like at least 200 gems from the beginning up to where Moneybags is, and he's kind of in the middle of where the level is.
I wouldn't even think 200. I'm thinking more of like 150. It's abysmally low. Pretty much
that's
they
the
end up
whole
taking
beginning.
all of the gems. They made the beginning like a lot of small gems, and then they moved all of the large gems to the slide in the strong chest.
Yeah, there are just a lot of 2s and 1s they put in the beginning. A little bit of 5s here and there, but that's mostly it.
Spyro! There.
I didn't mean to jump there. If you don't press any buttons there, the game will just auto move, change your direction.
Yeah.
Hey. Ah, just kidding. No.
Oh. Yeah, if you wait too long, these jam platforms disappear, and he has to do the whole trick again. Now here's slide skip, which I ended up finding kind of easily. All you have to do is just roll off all these rocks.
That last bit's a
and
bit new, though.
Yeah. Yeah, there's this random stuff you can stand on somewhere. But all you have to do is roll off those rocks and well, make the rocks roll you off. You don't want to be in like a falling animation because you'll just be stuck in the animation and have to do the slide over. But roll off the rocks and you can just like glide always straight to the end. Oh, you're not doing really fast.
That's because I don't think I've even looked at the video for it yet.
Oh,
So I didn't want a
Yeah,
chance to.
yeah, this egg's not too bad. It just takes a full lap to get him. There's a faster thing to do, but it's only like 3-4 seconds faster or something. Not too much you can do with that.
I also like the trees made out of caramel cubes.
Minecraft trees. Thankfully, that is the last money bags I have to pay for because there's another money bags in Desert Room. Costs 800 gems. Let's open the door to the end. But there's an end of level skip, and it's not too bad to do. And also, if you're under gemmed at all, you can go into Desert Ruins first and collect a lot of gems here because there are plenty of good gems in this one.
Yeah. There's a nice trail of 5s and 10s throughout like the entire area that you need to go through. So yeah, easy skip.
Yep. All you do is jump, glide, and hover because stationary jumps in this game kind of just OP. Like you get a lot more height doing stationary jumps than just like holding forward the whole time. Yeah, it's not easy at first glance because it's very like
There's a fairly
very
specific.
spot
Yeah.
specific. It's very spot specific where you need to jump to like have the most height out of your jump there.
Hi, Spyro.
But once you do know the spot, you can get it fairly consistent. Yeah, cold damage boosts in that, I guess, acid, which is pretty much like the same thing in the original. But as long,
Originally, you could also just proxy out the scorpion though.
yeah. It's a weird thing with like waterfall, like acid or lava, which kind of damage boosts you up. The same applies for all the like waterfalls for that kind of texture, just acid and lava.
What? Okay.
You can just like damage boost up the waterfall, or acid fall or whatever, and get to. Which there aren't many spots you can do that. Oh my god, there aren't many spots you can do that with, but you can try it with Lost Fleet to get up to subs. There's an acid waterfall just right below where subs is, and you can just damage boost up that very easily. Yeah, they made this area a little harder just because the enemies attack you much earlier. So you actually have to react to them and jump at the right time.
Ouch!
Nice spawn.
Thanks. There's a skip I could be going for at the start of Haunted Tomb, but I won't because it's bad.
Yeah, there is an end of level skip for Haunted Tomb, but it's just bad. Let's put it that way. Like he said, it's very, very precise and dumb.
Speaking of bad,
This thing. Oh, why'd you do this? No. I did the same thing in the hotfix race.
it's okay. I didn't lose that much time.
Yeah, don't worry. In-game time doesn't count. Load screens. So really, he only lost like 3 seconds.
So yeah, there's a jump you can do off of like a couple of the torches at the start of Haunted Tomb that you could just skip straight to the end. But honestly, it doesn't even save that much because the level's pretty quick to get through. Oh,
Yeah,
crap.
you just,
I need to open that door, don't I?
yeah, you do. You have to push these switches to open the doors, which the originals we wouldn't have to do because we can just skip to the end of level using like the door that opens and closes for you. But they made those doors like open and close a whole lot quicker than they do in the original.
Yep. So
Unfortunately, we can't do it that way.
this is the hardest intended room in the game, I would say.
Yeah, this room is awful. You have so many enemies in the way here.
First try. That's actually like, wow.
Like, you have no room for error. You make a mistake,
Wow.
you have to push that button again. You cannot make a mistake in that one room. Also, rocks. Oh no. Rocks. The rocks that fall down have like way bigger hitboxes, and you don't get as many iframes as you think you should, but you know.
What iframes? You don't get iframes.
There's a little, but you don't get enough of them just to survive another rock attack.
At first, the riddle is
You could see how, like, he barely grazed, like, where that rock was landing, but it has a bigger radius than you might think it does.
I totally changed my direction.
Yeah, the only difference with tanks is that you move slower and a lot smoother than
you may not.
the original. At least I would say. Slower being smoother, at least. You move that tank really fast in the original.
Sorry,
If you're
I
strafing.
see you. I am a best.
But we don't do tanks too because of how slow the tank is.
I've waited.
Tanks 2 is actually really easy, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just not worth it.
And slide skip here is easier. No, only easier because, like, you don't really have to jump. Kind of precisely, I guess. To make it over those. Make it over the slide. Next one is Dynamines in the last level. before Sorceress. Oh, I guess we do. Tunnel?
No. I forgot to grab the egg right by Sorceress.
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, Dynamite is kind of just the same. It's just running through the beginning and collecting a few eggs here and there. Two of the eggs are a side character egg, which is Agent 9. We don't have unlocked. Which of course are really slow because it's an auto scroller.
One of them's actually pretty fast. Since you no longer get completely blocked off in the level like you do in the original game, you can actually grab Agent 9's, like the one that's just like sitting there in Agent 9's area. You can just walk up and grab it.
Also, you can like easily get decimated in this level if you're not killing a bunch of the enemies here.
Yeah.
At least the ones that have the pistols.
There's an example of no iframes.
Yep. This area can be hard to pick. Like if you're not expecting these guys on like the turrets. I guess machine guns really, probably, but if you're not expecting them, they can really cut you down your health. We don't do the water tunnel here because it's like 50 seconds to get the egg because you move so much slower in the tunnel.
Oh, I actually already have Gold Spark.
But Sorceress
is terrible in this game.
Yeah, like all the rest of the bosses, the camera likes to focus only on the bosses themselves, so it's always centered on them.
The big problem with this fight is that her fireball attacks, either her fireball attacks move too fast and home in too well, or the vehicles just move too slow.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
Like if you let her shoot a fireball at you while you're on a vehicle, you're almost always going to get hit on it. Yeah, same deal here. You just like wait for Agent 9 to shoot down a vehicle for you. And Sorceress only takes a certain amount of hits on each one. So I think it's like what, 2 hits on Sorceress here, and then it moves on to the tanks.
Yep. 2 hits on the cannon, 3 hits on the tank, which is different from the original game.
Yeah.
And then I think I want to say it's 4 hits on the UFO.
I think it's 5.
5? Okay. 5 would make sense if it's 2 and then 3 first.
But yeah, you can see like the fireball really got close up to Spyro there. Really up close and personal.
And as you can see there, I had like no chance to avoid that. I wouldn't have had a chance to avoid that either.
Yeah.
Her attacks just moved too fast relative to the vehicle's speed.
Yeah, they're not very fast. Just avoid it. Tank is kind of worse.
Tank used to
they
be
made
like the
tank.
most overpowered vehicle in this fight. Now it's a shell of its former self.
Yeah, like you can skip like the intended vehicle needed for a phase if there's like some.
I could have
Side
waited to
stuff
get on the
that-
tank, but I just kind of autopiloted there.
On the original, you can just like skip the UFO phase with having Agent 9 shoot down another tank for you right when the UFO phase starts, and you can just use that tank to wreck sorcerers. I don't think you can really skip the vehicles anymore in this. Maybe, I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so, but I'm not positive.
Oh my god, you barely avoided that. Trying to shoot sorcerers down with this UFO is annoying because she likes to chase you a lot if you're like on the arena. But the moment you're off of it, she starts shooting a fireball at you.
Okay. That was actually a pretty good fight.
GG.
Alright, now we're going to check in-game time.
Now, how many times?
I'm guessing like a 52.
No, it's not too bad. $130 RTA with PS4 Slim.
Yeah. On HDD.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get an SSD for Christmas. $52.30.
Nice.
Good guess. My PB is $49.57 though. So, I mean that's okay for like a reset list, I'd say.
GG.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on now though, since this was the last run. Guessing Faulty's about to say.
That's it. That's what we got. We'll go ahead and transition this thing around do some stuff here. Gotta have the background music. I love this remix too. Play it. Sorry, not sorry. But anyway, yeah, that is all we've got. Thank you, Wed and Alex. Finished that last run, bringing us to a close. I just want to go ahead and say thanks to everybody who's been watching. Really appreciate everybody that's been hanging out. Conversation's been great the whole time. All the stuff going on. Thanks to all the runners, everybody from yesterday morning all the way through today. You all were fantastic. Especially everybody this early morning, overnight, dealing with some of the scheduling conflicts.
Major shout outs to Nerf for being willing to go early to fix that up.
Yeah, coming in clutch with the like 1 hour of being awake and doing this run. That was great. Thanks to all the commentators as well for coming in. I know a few of those were last minute. Really appreciate everybody doing that. I think it was the best Spyrothon that's happened yet. I really liked it. I hope everybody else did too. Thanks to Phoenix for helping organize and schedule everything. Thanks to 2% Milk for helping us do some marketing, social media stuff. And thanks to Jake and Take for doing graphics thing. Really appreciate all you guys. Not too much else.
Should we get some positive vibes in the chat?
Yeah, positive vibes in the chat. If you want to get involved with Spyro speedrunning, if this inspired you in any way, you can check out all the leaderboards and stuff at speedrun.com/Spyro. There's links to Discord on there. You've also seen the link scrolling by on the bottom of the screen the whole time. You can go ahead and follow Spyrothon on Twitter and Twitch. I will tell you right now, if you're getting go live notifications on Twitch, it's not going to happen. We aren't going to be live for quite a while, so don't worry about that if that's holding you back. We're so close to 1,000 followers. That would be fantastic if we could hit that. Yeah. Phoenix just posted the Discord link to the School of Spyro. That is the Spyro speedrunning Discord, the main community. There's lots of stuff going on, especially with SRT right now. So many new things getting found every day, and that's just going to keep going. But yeah, I really hope that everybody enjoyed, and I think that's pretty much all we got. Phoenix, you got anything?
No, I agree with everything you said. I'm glad this went well, and hopefully next year will be even better.
Cool, yeah. So with that, I guess we'll see you for Spyrothon 5 next year. Maybe at the same time, maybe earlier, I don't know. There'll be some announcements coming up far in the future, don't worry about it. But for now, we're going to go ahead and raid somebody. Yeah, hope everybody has a good night, good rest of your year, holidays, all that fun stuff. And yeah, we'll see you next year.